Hello, once again, this is Brother Teacher. I'm going to try to make this as brief as possible, but I'm going to make sure that I give you all of the information that I possibly can so that you have something to work with. And the subject today is foot or toenail fungus. How to get rid of toenail fungus or even fungus in between the toes. I've experienced this before, so I can tell you a little bit about it. First of all, we have to look at what it is. Fungus is the result of a certain environment that you find your feet in. In this particular instance, we're talking about feet. Now, fungus is a yeast, okay, or candida, if you will, and it loves to grow in dark, moist, and damp environments. It thrives in damp or dark and warm environments. So if you have those three elements, you've got a good case of potential fungus or yeast. So why do we have fungus on our toenails, in between our toes? Because of our lifestyle. It's a couple things. This is topical or on the outside of the body, but at the same time, it's inside as well. Meaning this: we in Western culture, for the most part, wear shoes and socks on a regular basis, sometimes 8, 10, 12 hours a day. Guess what environment your feet are in? A dark environment with moisture and with heat. And guess what grows in that environment again? Fungus and bacteria. So, to treat that, you want to do the opposite of what you're doing. We can't walk around, obviously, barefooted at our jobs. Most of us, I'm sure, 99.9% of us can't walk around barefooted unless it's a job that requires you be barefooted. But how many are there like that? So, what you want to do is some precautionary things, proactive. As much as you possibly can when you're at home, take your shoes and your socks off. Don't sleep with your socks on. And if you wear socks, try to wear white cotton socks, not synthetic socks and not dark colored socks, because we're going to increase the probability of growing yeast on our toenails and in between our toes. So now, what are some of the treatments? Some of the treatments for that is going to be, you can bathe your feet in a soak. You can use baking soda and apple cider vinegar. I would say half a cup baking soda and 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar in a basin with warm water as high enough just to go above your toes for about 10-20 minutes. Move your feet around in it and dry your feet off. Rinse your feet off if you want to with some warm water afterwards. If you don't want the residue from the baking soda, and if you don't want the smell of apple cider vinegar on your feet, because some people are funny like that, rinse your feet off and dry them. Now, I would encourage you, and this is just in general, when you get out of the bathtub, just taking a regular bath or taking a shower or even doing this particular soak remedy, make sure that you don't put socks and shoes on immediately, because your feet are what? Still moist. Even though they might feel slightly damp, that's enough moisture to start the process of fungal growth all over again. So you might want to take a hair dryer, your wife's or daughter's hair dryer. If you don't have a wife or a daughter in the house and you don't have a hair dryer, it would be a good idea to go and purchase one. Just a cheap one. You can even go to a thrift store, buy one for $3 or $5. Dry your feet with the hair dryer before you put your socks and shoes back on. to avoid growing more yeast on your toenails and in between your toes. Dry your feet thoroughly. And if you don't have to leave the house, just walk around barefooted or put on some slide on sandals where your feet are still exposed and they can get some air. And in the summertime, as much as you possibly can, try to expose your feet to sunlight. That will kill the fungus as well. Another pointer: alternate your shoes. Don't wear the same shoes every single day. Allow the pair that you just wore today to air out overnight or for a couple days. Keep exchanging and or alternating your shoes so that you don't continue to have that growth of fungus on your feet and your toenails. Okay? Now let me tell you another thing. Internally, you must remember this. 80% at least of your gut bacteria is, or your gut I should say, is made up of your immune system. Your immune system, in other words, is over 80% located in your gut, in your intestines. That's what I'm trying to tell you. 80% of your what? Immune system is in your intestines. Did you not know that? It is. So now, if 80% of your immune system is in your intestines, what does that mean about the fungal growth? If your immune system is compromised, you're going to be more susceptible to fungus on your toes externally. So it's not just a topical issue only, it's an internal issue as well. So you need to be mindful of how you eat and what you eat so that you don't compromise the good bacteria in your gut and you don't compromise your immune system in your gut, okay, so that you can have a healthy immune system and thereby promoting a healthy external system to include your toes and toenails. I think that was pretty simple to comprehend. So you want to make sure that you have a diet full of organically grown foods, healthy whole foods. You want to eliminate dairy. I would like to say meat, but a lot of you don't want to eliminate meat, but as much meat as you possibly can from your diet, okay? And you want to eliminate sugar. Yeast grows well with sugar. It feeds off of sugar. It loves sugar. So if you consume a lot of sugar every single day, donuts, cakes and pies and the like, guess what you're prone to? A yeast infection. Women in your vagina, men and women, your toenails and in between your toes, a yeast infection. Follow me? Now, so after you have the foot bath, you want to, if your toenails are long, you want to cut your toenails straight across. Never cut your nails, finger or toenails, in the direction in which the nail grows, because you can end up cutting it too close to the skin, and when you cut the skin, you're allowing bacteria to get in and grow and cause what? An infection. And then with that infection or that opening, here comes the bacteria and the fungus. You follow? So leave just enough nail to protrude beyond the skin and cut it square, straight across your toenails and your fingernails. You don't want to give a home for the fungus to grow. And if you have any fungus that's growing underneath your toenail, get you a file or get you a nail kit and start to gently scrape some of that from underneath. And continue that foot soak maybe twice a day, in the morning time and in the evening. But because of your job, if you can't do it twice, at least do it once before you go to bed. Okay? Now, something you can put in your shoes to cut down the growth of fungus inside your shoe itself is tea tree oil. Put a few drops of tea tree oil in your shoe, okay? Or you can put oregano oil inside your shoe. And another thing that you can use would be baking soda. Baking soda is an antifungal and an antibacterial property. Okay? So let me summarize again. Yeast grows, bacteria grows, ideally in its favorite environment: darkness, heat, and moisture. That's where it grows. If you eliminate that, then you eliminate the yeast and the bacteria. Okay? Specifically in this particular video, on your feet. Now, also, in conjunction with our diet, we follow those other protocols with the feet by not wearing socks in the bed, wearing light colored cotton socks when you do wear socks. Once you take your shoes off, make sure you walk around the house barefooted as much as possible so that your feet can air out. Don't wear the same shoes every day if you can help it. Alternate your shoes. Put some tea tree oil, put some oregano oil, and put some baking soda in your shoes to kill the fungus that's in your shoes, and alternate your shoes, as I said, on a regular basis. Get some sunlight to your feet in the summertime when it's available to you, depending on where you are. Okay, and the other thing, make sure that you eliminate, if you possibly can, all of the sugar in your diet, the excess sugar, all of the donuts and all of the cookies and the candy and the sweet drinks that you have, because fungus thrives on sugar again. That's the internal side. I'm serious. When you put sugar inside your body, that compromises your immune system. It compromises your gut bacteria, and it gives a good position and a good haven for fungus to grow within your body and externally, especially in your shoes when you have that environment of dark moisture and what's the other one? Dark moisture and heat. That's what it is. You know what the three are. I know what the three are. But anyway, I know this video was a benefit to you. I know it was helpful because I have experienced this before myself. Now, this is not just true with your feet. This is true with any part of your body that's covered all of the time. Even when you wear underwear. I said this before about sleeping naked. When you sleep naked, you can air out. Okay, it's a comfortable thing. It's a natural thing to do when you can and if you want to. I'm not trying to tell you that that's what you have to do. I'm just telling you how nature works. You weren't born with clothes on, so you don't have to wear clothes 24/7. Only when you leave the house, hopefully. Anyway, this is Brother Teacher. So long. I love you.